This is WLOX News Now Weekend. Your news starts right now.
A social media firestorm tonight after Senator Cindy Hyde-Smith made a comment on a campaign stop she says was a joke, but many are calling racist. Plus, some give a little and some gave all, but today people across South Mississippi are honoring every one of our veterans. But first tonight, 2 people dead after a car crash in Long Beach. Details about the crash are limited at this time, but Police Chief Billy Seal tells us officers have been working tonight to do accident reconstruction at the scene. Seal says the crash happened on 28th Street near Simmons Street. Officers closed 28th Street from Klondike Road to Canal Street to investigate the scene. We've had 2 beautiful days, but chilly days of weather. Where is there a change on the way? Let's go to meteorologist Eric Chanson to find out what's going on right now. Eric?
Yeah, Mike, we're already seeing that change take place. Look at the radar over the past hour or so. Showers just popping up right over South Mississippi as we're starting to see the influence of our storm system developing out to our west bring those showers, perhaps maybe a few rumbles of thunder overnight. Taking a wider view, notice a lot of heavy rain to our north. This batch of rain will stay to our north, not impact us. Watching an area of low pressure developing along the coast, this will help bring the chance for showers and thunderstorms as we go into tomorrow. So wake up tomorrow in the morning, might be dodging a few showers across the area. Then as we go throughout the afternoon, temperatures warm up a little bit, maybe just enough fuel for some thunderstorms. 1 or 2 of those can't rule out perhaps being on the strong side. Look at the live neighborhood network reporting stations. Perkinston at MGCCC got down to 38 degrees this morning. Won't be that cold tomorrow morning. Notice we're 53 there. Gulfport Red Pest Solutions 56 degrees currently. As we take a look outside on the IP Casinos Resort Spa Tower, Kim and Biloxi looking over Back Bay. Looks pretty quiet, and same thing at the Lighthouse on the Mississippi Power Tower, Kim, at the Beau Rivage. We'll have a complete breakdown of the rain chances for tomorrow, plus a look at the very cold temperatures set to arrive on Tuesday, Mike. During the day on Tuesday, it might feel like the 30s. We'll talk about that in just a little bit.
All right, thanks, Eric. Now to controversy on the campaign trail. A social media firestorm in Mississippi's United States Senate's race after a video captures Senator Cindy Hyde-Smith attempting to compliment a constituent named Colin Hutchinson.
He invited me to a public hanging at me on the front row.
In that video, the senator reportedly saying, quote, "If he invited me to a public hanging, I'd be in the front row." This video shows that campaign stop on November the 2nd. Our ABC affiliate in Tupelo captured the senator speaking with constituents, and today Hyde-Smith said she was referencing an invitation to a speaking engagement, calling the reference an exaggerated expression of regard, and says any attempt to turn the comments into a negative connotation is ridiculous. In a statement late this afternoon, her opponent Mike Espy called the comments reprehensible, saying, quote, "They have no place in our political discourse in Mississippi or our country. We need leaders, not dividers." Espy and Hyde-Smith are in the running to fill the remainder of a 2-year Senate term for the seat previously held by Thad Cochran. That runoff election is November the 27th. Students, staff, and loved ones held a candlelight vigil tonight at Greenville High School for football player Jeremiah Williams. As the sun set, people gathered to celebrate his life. Williams died last Friday from injuries sustained during a football game against Madison Central. Coaches say Williams was a talented athlete who loved playing on the gridiron, but his passion was on the court. The Greenville mayor has declared November the 15th Jeremiah Williams Day. Thousands lined the streets of New York City for the annual Veterans Day Parade on Fifth Avenue. Crowds and military personnel waved flags to honor all those who served. This year, veterans are also marking the 100-year anniversary since the end of World War I. Veterans all over the country have been participating in events all week to acknowledge the service of so many of their fellow soldiers. Today, Long Beach honored veterans with its annual parade through downtown. But for the first time in its 6-year history, it's under the direction of some folks who take parading seriously. And while the event has had good attendance since the beginning, it's now likely to get much bigger.
Thank you for your service. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your service.
There's nothing like well-deserved gratitude.
It makes me feel happy that we have someone to protect us, and it makes me feel, I'm just so happy that we get to honor them and celebrate this holiday.
Korean War veteran Harold Riles wears his pride well, especially on this day.
I would have died for this country over and over, for this country made me what I am today, a good man and a God-fearing man.
The recognition and acknowledgement go way beyond the parade route.
It means actually more for my son and my granddaughters than it does for me personally, and for friends and comrades that I've lost, of course. My granddaughters are both on active duty, and my son was in the Air Force.
This year, the Carnival Association of Long Beach added the parade to accompany the festival that it began last year.
Here you go. Thank you.
We have it kind of down to a science as far as getting the people together and getting the organization.
Organizers have reached long and deep to find ways to involve veterans in the celebration and are already seeing a growth in participation.
It really helped that we got vehicles for them to ride in. So, you know, our organizers went to the American Legion and the DAB and the VFW, and we actually invited them to come and told them that we would help them as far as getting into the parade.
Glenn says growing the size of the parade is important.
We would love it, only for the fact that we want to raise community awareness for our veterans and to let them know how much they're appreciated.
Today's parade had about 150 participants and about 40 units. In Hancock County, a father and son spent time interviewing several veterans in their community and put it together in a YouTube video. It's all to honor the men and women who have served in our nation's military. They didn't have to look far. Most of the people featured in the video live at Dunbar Village. The father and son knew they were doing something special when they began editing.
Brought back memories of my grandfather. I just miss him. He's not with us anymore. And just at one moment, Cam and I looked at each other. We had tears in our eyes, just knew we were capturing something really important on film. And I just wanted to make sure that we honored them respectfully and made sure.
They say it took a little over a week to complete the 9-minute film. They are presenting it to residents of Dunbar Village tomorrow morning. Hundreds of people shopped at the annual Gem and Rock Show in Jackson County this weekend. Taryn Reed caught up with vendors and families and discovered there's more than meets the eye.
What is this?
It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
We did pretty good.
Mining for gems right here in Jackson County. Regina James and her grandkids are getting the full experience.
This is my first time and I love it. This is wonderful. I had a lot of fun.
This is our gem mine, and this is what people like to call a sluice.
Neil Thomas of Thomas Rocks Gems and Jewelry created an eye catcher for this year's 29th annual Magnolia State Gem, Mineral, and Jewelry Show. Buy a bag of dirt. Concealed inside are gems. Wash it in the flume to reveal your haul.
Dig out all sorts of gemstones.
It's just one feature at the show. Vendors from across the country set up shop for one weekend only, including Susan with C&S Beads out of Vero Beach, Florida.
I've been in it 20 years just because I have a passion for beads.
She says her best seller is rosary beads. You won't just find vendors set up with goods to purchase. You'll catch a glimpse of them at work.
I cut gemstones. What I'm cutting now is a Montana sapphire. It'll turn out to be just a nice gem to put in a pendant or a ring or however how he wants to use it.
And there's something for everyone.
And put another stone on there.
A kids station gives them the chance for some hands-on learning.
It's very educational. They know more about the rocks than I do. And when I came immediately, she began to tell me about the different, like the amethyst and all the different rocks. And I'm like, really? So they're true rock hounds. Now I'm one.
Reporting in Jackson County, Taryn Reed, WLOX News Now.
The next show is a Mobile Thanksgiving weekend. Find more information on our website, WLOX.com. 1,500 full bellies in Florida tonight after Coast volunteers delivered pork butts and the fixins to those affected by Hurricane Michael. Crews packed up early this morning and left from Tay's Barbecue in Pascagoula. 80 pork butts, 120 buns, and 20 gallons of sauce was all purchased through local donations. Volunteers delivered the meals to 9 locations. They say the meals will feed 1,500 people. A surprise from a galaxy far, far away. This Gulfport teen is battling cancer, and to make his days a little brighter, he's getting a trip that's out of this world. Plus, a legal battle over guns in Mississippi courthouses far from over. And in about 20 minutes, more than 200 people missing as massive wildfires ravage parts of California. 12-year-old Leighton Creel is a survivor. He's battled non-Hodgkin's lymphoma since 2016. Leighton was recently granted a wish through the Make-A-Wish Mississippi to go to Walt Disney World. Tonight, his family and friends reveal part of his wish that he didn't know about.
Leighton was diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma back in 2016 toward the end of the year. He went through several months of chemotherapy, and he made it through, and everything is great now.
I first met the family back in February of this year, and they're just a fabulous family.
It means a lot. We're blessed with all of our church family and friends, so we really enjoy everybody. We see them every Sunday, but it's good to celebrate Leighton this day.
I feel like it really means a lot to me because all these people brought my family meals because, you know, they were always back and forth to the hospital. They really put in a lot of effort, like a secondary family to us.
Look at this. What does that say?
Oh, that's sick. We get to go to Universal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes! Harry Potter, here I come!
I feel very blessed and fortunate that we've had all of these people around us through everything. I don't know how anybody would make it through that without a support system around them, honestly.
They have a very strong family and a very strong church family, and everybody here loves them to death.
And he is very excited that he was granted this wish, and we are looking forward to it.
The family will drive to Orlando in a rental car provided by Make-A-Wish Mississippi. They say it's the first time most of them have ever gone on a trip like this. Guns in our courtrooms, the battle and the court ruling, and a controversy that just won't go away. Doug Walker had a chance to talk with one local sheriff about what the court ruled.
The legal battle over guns in our courthouses. State law, backed up by the Mississippi Supreme Court, allows those with enhanced concealed carry licenses access to the entirety of the courthouse, except in courtrooms when court is in session. But Harrison County Sheriff Troy Peterson doesn't necessarily agree.
The only person that can define it is the legislation. The legislatures have to go back and look at this and address it in a different way. It's too ambiguous to look at from the standpoint of how they did the law. Basically, it says in the enhanced concealed carry law, it says that the person can go within the courthouse, anywhere they want to go with a firearm. But it also says, with the exceptions that are to that law, that if they can't go inside the courtroom or inside the courthouse with a police department, sheriff's department, or highway patrol office, or a detention facility, which we have both in Harrison County. Jackson County does not have that.
If you'd like to see that interview with Sheriff Peterson in its entirety, log on to WLOX.com. We posted it on our video tab. I'm Doug Walker, WLOX News Now.
People had a chance today to find a good bargain while helping out a Jackson County nonprofit. Several booths were set up outside Ocean Springs Lumber and Supply Company for the Pink Paws Spay and Neuter annual garage sale. The block party style garage sale featured homemade soaps and candles, jewelry, and other good finds. There were also dogs available for adoption through Just Cause Rescue. Proceeds will support Pink Paws' mission to help residents spay and neuter their pets at a reduced cost.
We do a reduced fees program for Jackson County and surrounding areas. We've really branched out with animals. We've done almost 700 this year, and all the money helps to fix them. It gives people in our communities a chance to get their animals done for a reasonable price.
If you didn't have a chance to make it out to today's sale, you can also donate on Pink Paws' website, jcspan.org.
And we're tracking some big changes headed toward South Mississippi. We'll have the details after the break. But first, a look at that marine forecast for tomorrow.
WLOX First Alert Weather with meteorologist Eric Johnstone.
All right, just a nice quiet evening across South Mississippi on the Mississippi Power Tower Cam at the Beau Rivage, but we are tracking some changes as we go throughout the next 24 to 36 hours, where we're going to go through a period of perhaps some stormy weather and then some much colder weather as we go into the day on Tuesday. So tomorrow we're going to have those periods of rain, maybe a few thunderstorms, and with that, there is a low severe weather risk with that. We'll break down the details in just a second. Then as we go into the day on Tuesday, the temperatures on Tuesday are just going to steadily fall. So Tuesday might be one of those days where the high temperature might be around midnight in the morning. Throughout the day, we'll see rainy, windy conditions develop. And then as we go into Wednesday, Thursday mornings, it looks like those will be our colder mornings with temperatures perhaps in the 30s. We're already seeing those changes take place across South Mississippi. We already have rain on the radar beginning to stream in from the south and from the west. And that's all ahead of this area of low pressure that's developing over in the Gulf. Notice this area of low pressure, it has with it a warm front that's outlined by this red line here. Everything south of here, that's where the warmer temperatures are. That's where the most moisture is. That's where the fuel is for stronger thunderstorms. So that's going to play a role in our forecast tomorrow. The further north this line moves, the more fuel will be available for thunderstorms to tap into. And so that's why the Storm Prediction Center has outlined this area from the Louisiana coast across South Mississippi into Alabama and Florida under a marginal risk for perhaps one or two of those storms becoming strong to severe in anticipation of that warm front lifting north and providing that energy. So let's take a look at Futurecast, and here's what it looks like tomorrow morning. We start off with temperatures in the 60s, but note the temperatures as we go throughout the early morning hours, they start to rise into the 70s. So that's an indication that, hey, maybe that warm front may begin to lift further north into South Mississippi. So that means more unstable air with scattered showers and thunderstorms. Then we get some breaks. So maybe tomorrow not completely a washout, but we get some periods of dry weather. Then as we go throughout the afternoon, temperatures in the 70s, maybe some scattered showers and thunderstorms coming back through. One or two of those may be strong to severe. So tomorrow you'll definitely have to just be paying attention to the weather. Looking at model data, though, as far as the rainfall totals, there is a suggestion that perhaps the heaviest rain may be just to our east and over the water, but again, generally 1 to 3 inches across South Mississippi. Taking a look at the big picture, though, we talked about the stormy side. Now let's talk about the cold side, because as we go into Monday night into Tuesday, this cold front that's already producing snow in the Texas Panhandle, we even have reports of thunder snow in Amarillo. That front is going to be making its way towards South Mississippi as we go into Monday night, going into Tuesday morning. Notice, though, on Tuesday, we keep the rain around, so a cold, windy, raw day with showers and windy conditions. In fact, look at the winds on Futurecast as we go into Tuesday morning. Out of the north, 15 to 20 miles per hour. Tuesday by noon, out of the north around 20. And then we keep those strong northerly winds all day on Tuesday. You factor that in with the temperature, it's going to feel much colder. Notice Tuesday morning, we start off feeling like the 50s, but then as we go throughout the afternoon, well, those wind chill values continue to fall by the evening hours. It will be feeling like the 30s when you factor in that wind on Tuesday. So definitely a lot of things to go through over the next 24 to 36 hours. Stormy tomorrow, then much colder as we go into Tuesday and Wednesday.
A real nasty day on Tuesday.
Very much so.
Thanks, Eric. Appreciate it. Coming up in sports, New Orleans heads north to take on the Bengals. A full recap of today's blowout win against Cincinnati, as well as reaction ahead.
I think so far this is our most complete game from start to finish. Just both sides of the ball, really executing well and taking advantage of opportunities.
The Saints are hands down, without a doubt, the hottest team in the league right now, and they have the win streak to prove it. After a big game like New Orleans had last week against the Rams, one must be wary of the game that follows, the trap game. Drew Brees and company take their act to a frigid Cincinnati to take on the Bengals fresh off their bye week. Second quarter game tied at 7. Drew Brees passes to Mark Ingram. Ingram heading down the sideline, and check this out, reverse spin move into the end zone for the touchdown, and throws up the X, showing love to Dez Bryant. 14-7 Saints. Next Saints drive, Brees hands off to Alvin Kamara as he slithers his way in for another Saints score. 21-7 Saints lead now, but Kamara wasn't done yet. Saints in the red zone again. Brees pitches to Kamara, goes right, gets the edge, and it's another touchdown for New Orleans. Too fast to be caught, that Kamara is. Half coming to a close. Andy Dalton drops back, going deep, but cookies. Marcus Williams is there for the pick, and heads the other way. Has blockers ahead of him. He could go all the way, but he stopped at the Bengals' 17-yard line. Saints take over on offense. With 8 seconds left in the first half, Brees drops back and threads the needle to Michael Thomas for the 17-yard touchdown. Drew Brees' record-breaking season continues as he passes Brett Favre with that touchdown for the second most career touchdown passes all time in his 150th career win as a starter. Michael Thomas also became the NFL record holder for the most receptions in their first 40 career games as the New Orleans serves up the 50-piece, winning 51-14.
There's no trap games against a 5-3 opponent, on the road. So coming off a bye week, so we felt like obviously this is a very talented team that we were playing against, and we wanted to make sure we had our best performance. And you also understand the value of each one of these wins. I mean, they equal the same, and you can make arguments for NFC and divisional and that kind of stuff, but man, a win is a win, right? And so this win is just as valuable as any other win.
We had the balance that we were looking for. I felt like the run and the pass complemented each other, and I also thought it complemented what we were doing defensively. Our third down numbers on defense were great. We were able to get off the field. So, look, it was all in all a pretty solid game.
Heading into Week 11, here's how the NFC South is shaping up. Outside the Saints marching their win streak to 8, Week 10 was brutal for the rest of the division as everyone took an L. The Saints now have a 2-game lead in the South, but have one of the toughest remaining schedules as 4 of their last 7 games are against teams at or above 500, Mike. And they are hotter than fish grease right now. And to prove to you how hot they are, Mike, they scored on every single drive they had in this game, except the last one when they had to take a knee.
Everything's going well. Just cross our fingers that they stay healthy.
Just smooth sailing.
All right, Josh, thanks. Wildfires dancing across the state of California, the flames leaving little behind, tearing down homes, businesses, and hundreds are still missing tonight. But first,
Senator Roger Wicker, reelected this past week, talks about his victory working with the Democrats and President Trump. Next on Sunday Night Extra.